When it comes to building wealth, you have to recognize that there are levels to this thing. And you may be at level 1 right now, or you may be at level 5. But on our journey towards financial independence, towards becoming multimillionaires, we have gone through every level of wealth. And so today we want to talk to you about those levels and give you the tips to be able to move through them. Because ultimately, you want to get to level 5. Hey guys, it's Aman
and Christina
from Our Rich Journey.
In today's video, we are going to be talking about the 5 levels of wealth. We want you to be able to not only identify what level you're in, but some of the goals and the things that may be holding you back from moving into the next stage of wealth. This is really important because you don't want to be at a certain level. Let's say you're at level 1 in terms of building wealth and you're trying to solve level 5 or level 4 problems. So each level of wealth requires a different strategy. So let's start off with level 1.
Level 1 is survival. We know this level like many people know this level. In fact, you may be in this survival stage right now. Because at this level, you're probably living paycheck to paycheck. Finances are your biggest stress. Oh, and debt is growing and it feels impossible to reduce.
Now, this, of course, is the first stage, and most people can feel the impact of this stage. Aman and I definitely felt like this. There was a point when we were not earning enough money. Our salaries were barely covering our expenses, and it really felt like a struggle at this stage.
I remember this phase, and I know a lot of people can relate. You felt like you had no options. There was no breathing room. You were just surviving, and you definitely were not thriving. At this phase, your goal should be to get some breathing room. So we say focus on building your first emergency fund, getting $1,000 saved, and start to focus on spending less and earning more.
And the most important thing about this stage is not to fall into this trap of thinking that you are going to be stuck at this stage for your entire life. I know it can feel like very overwhelming if you are not earning enough money, or especially if you have that high interest debt, but don't fall into that trap of thinking that this is going to be your stage forever.
Definitely. Because just because you have started here doesn't mean you're always going to be here. Which brings us to stage number 2.
So stage number 2 is stability. This is a stage where your bills are paid, small emergencies are not going to throw you off, and you are able to save consistently.
This is where you really start to feel life kind of coming together. I remember when we were at this point. At this point in our life, we had built 3 to 6 months worth of an emergency fund. We were learning about investing. We were learning how to save more and earn more. And the thing that we were not doing was falling into the trap that so many people fall into once they get to this stage. We didn't let lifestyle inflation derail us. Because you can start to let this stability get ahead of yourself and say, well, I got a little bit extra money. Why don't I upgrade my phone? Why don't I get a better car? Why don't I move into a bigger house? Be careful. That is what could put you back into the survival stage.
Instead, you actually want to move on to level 3, which is security. Your debt is under control, your investments are growing, and you have options if you lose your job.
Oh, options, options, options. When you have options, you just maneuver through the world a little differently. Security is so important. Financial security gives you the ability to have choices.
So your goal at this stage is to grow your assets that begin producing meaningful income. So for Aman and I, the focus was really on maxing out our 401ks, our IRAs, our HSA, contributing to our kids' custodial accounts, and then moving on to our standard brokerage accounts. It's really about growing our assets at this stage.
I love how you broke down the order of investing because you start to figure that out in this particular stage. Something else that you are doing is you are avoiding debt, especially that high interest debt. Now, some debt is a little better than others because it moves you forward financially, but some debt can also set you back. And remember, when you are building wealth, high interest debt is working in the opposite direction. So you want to avoid the high credit card bills. You want to stay away from all those things because it's all about momentum. Now, the trap with this particular stage is thinking you're done. You've made it because you've reached security. I see people fall for this trap all the time. I have financial security. I'm good to go. Well, that security may be short-lived if you're not focused on getting to the next level of wealth. And that is financial independence, level 4. Now, Christina and I, we achieved financial independence before the age of 40, where we were able to quit our jobs, walk away, and live completely off of our investments.
So at this stage, work is completely optional. Your investments should be covering all of your expenses, and time becomes your most valuable asset. Now, the goal at this stage is protecting what you have actually built and designing that life that you have always wanted. Now, the trap at this stage is if you start expanding the life that you want or changing the life that you want. That's why it's very important to plan out your FIRE goals. What type of life do you see yourself living once you reach financial independence? The trap happens when you get to financial independence and you realize that the life you've designed for when you reach there is not the life that you plan on living.
And so this trap can have a lot of different implications. For one, let's say your life expands and you start spending more money than you should be withdrawing from your investments. If you're taking more than 4%, you will run out of money a lot sooner than what you planned on doing. We talk about the 4% rule in other videos, but financial independence is based off a formula where you are pulling a certain amount of money annually from your investment accounts. If you start to pull more than that, then you risk your financial independence and could fall back down to other stages. The other thing is that sometimes you can become a little too overconfident once you've achieved financial independence. You think, well, I've made all the right decisions up to this point. I can't go wrong. And you may start to do things that are a little too risky with your money. What's important with financial independence is that you preserve your wealth. So you don't want to try to do something crazy like invest in some wild investment or take too much of your portfolio and put it over here and letting it ride because you think you can't go wrong because you've made it this far. Don't let that be your downfall.
But let's talk about the 5th level of wealth, which is legacy. I think a lot of people strive to get to financial independence, which is the 4th level, but that 5th level really rounds everything out. It's the most important level to reach. Now, at the legacy stage, your money is outliving you. You're helping family or causes that are really important to you, and your focus is on making an impact.
Now, the financial independence stage and the legacy stage are very similar, in fact. The one difference is that at the legacy stage, you are trying to pass on your wealth and you're trying to also pass on your knowledge. You see, Christina and I could achieve financial independence and that would be fine and dandy for us. But our goal is for our children to take our financial independence to the next level, to take our wealth to create a legacy. And that is not possible if our children do not understand how money works. So knowledge is so important when you are talking about building legacy. Something else that rarely gets talked about when people start talking about legacy are the tools that you need to have in place to pass on money. And I'm talking about wills and trusts and all of the legal mechanisms that allow your money to go to your heirs efficiently. Because how many stories have we heard of wealthy people passing away and they don't have a will or they don't have a trust, and that money is caught up in probate and all of the legal system, and no one ends up with it at the end except for the lawyers. So don't fall for that trap. Have a will, have a trust. The last thing that I think is really important about legacy is that as you are in the legacy stage, at a certain point, you have to start to transition your wealth to your heirs. And we believe in doing that sooner rather than later. Our daughters are 18 and 20, and now is a really good time to start to hand them off a little bit of that wealth, to see how they manage some of that money so that you are riding shotgun with them. You are giving them advice. You are teaching them about the pros and cons of all of their situations.
So those are the 5 stages of wealth, and no matter where you are, there's always room for growth and improvement, and making sure that you do not fall into any of these traps at any of these stages. We would love to know, what is your stage that you're working on right now? What is your goal, and what are the traps that you are focused on avoiding? And of course, if you like this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and join the journey.